Surviving infidelity. Update to my husband cheating while our 4-year-old son has been going through cancer treatment. Original post, I got a, you don't know me, but there's something you should know about your husband message while caring for our cancer-stricken son. She sent me screenshots of texts between them, including texts in which he claims to be divorced. Apparently, he's been having an affair with her for 2 months before she figured out he was married. Our 4-year-old son has been in treatment for 5 months. Not only is this a huge betrayal at the worst time for our family, he's also risking our son's health and life by having unnecessary unmasked interaction with someone outside of our bubble during a pandemic. I'm in shock and my mind is racing. I don't know how to approach this with him. To me, cheating is an automatic relationship ender, but we've been told to avoid putting our son through unnecessary stress during his treatment, and I'm concerned that if I leave his father, the huge life change will be too stressful for him. I don't know if I should try and salvage our marriage for our son's sake. Now for the top advice before reading the update. He's cheating on you and putting your cancer-stricken son's health at risk during a global pandemic. I strongly suggest against trying to salvage the marriage. However, the divorce proceedings do not have to happen immediately. You can postpone them until after his treatment. I would definitely recommend speaking to a lawyer though. She should collect evidence of his infidelity and/or get a confession out of him, audio recording, texts, video. Maybe even ask the mistress if she'd be willing to go to court with them or send more, solid, proof. Then collect that alimony. Be careful with the recording part. Some states allow for one-party consent and others require both parties' consent to be video/audio recorded. If the latter applies, this may land OP, or anyone this applies to, in some not-so-good positions/situations. I would start talking to a lawyer. Don't do anything till you talk to a lawyer. And a good counselor if you can find one. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I am so sorry your son is sick and your husband is doing this. If your husband will agree to some terms, you might be able to keep some stress from your son. This is just a suggestion, but I think you should tell your husband you got the message from the mistress, but right now the only thing that matters is your son's fight. He has to stop dating. This is important for the exposure to the germs. It is very selfish of him to take unnecessary risks with your son's health. If you have a spare bedroom, he can move into that room for the sake of your son's health. Him moving out might be too much, I don't know, and then you can figure out where to go once your son is better. I'm sure your emotions are all over the place, but if you have to keep your son's stress level down, please try not to argue around him even though this is not your fault and I'm sure you are very, very angry. If your husband cannot agree to put your son first, you might just have to have him move out and stay away until the pandemic and the cancer is under control. Before talking to the husband, she should talk to a lawyer and get statements for any joint accounts. Just so that once he knows, she has proof if he empties the accounts. And now for the update. While he was at work, I asked the woman he was cheating with to send him a text ending their affair. At the same time I sent him a text letting him know we needed to have a conversation when he got home. It was sheer dumb pettiness, but I wanted to make him sweat. When he got home, I told him I knew what he'd done. I told him I was not going to accept him not only cheating on me, but putting our son's health at risk in a pandemic. I told him that I no longer trust him, love him, nor want him in my life. I told him to pack, say goodbye to his son, and leave. He basically turned into a different person on the spot. It was like his mask dropped and he became this vindictive jerk I'd never seen before. He said he only did it because I wasn't attentive enough, meaning I wasn't sexually available as often as he wanted while my son is in a terrifying and painful fight for his life. He told me that I should be the one to say goodbye to my son and leave, but there's no way I'm leaving my son with him because I don't trust him with our son's health if he was putting him at risk just to get laid more often. After I refused to leave my son, he told me to take him and leave, because this house was his before I moved in and we married. He wanted to kick his cancer-stricken 4-year-old out. Finally, he agreed to leave temporarily until we could sort out the living situation. We told our son he'd been near someone who had COVID, so he was going away for a while to keep him safe. I just hope all the changes that are about to happen in my son's life won't cause him too much stress. Your husband is a goddamn narcissist. Good riddance. Narcissists are some of the most terrifying people to deal with, and this sounds like OP is dealing with one. OP, hire a lethal attorney and go for the jugular. Have no love for this monster, he would do the same and more in a heartbeat. Lethal attorney. He'll win the case, over your dead body if need be. You handled it beautifully. Get an attorney that takes zero shit and let them handle it. Do it now. Do it before he does, and get a jump on his. Yes, hire the attorney and keep a diary of conversations including what you've just recalled about him instantly turning into a different person when confronted. Record conversations if necessary, and you have the texts from his girlfriend. Good on her for telling you. I just hope she isn't stupid enough to have him back either. She wants nothing to do with him. She hates him for lying to her and for what he did to me. He did cheat on her too. He said he only did it because I wasn't attentive enough, meaning I wasn't actually available as often as he wanted while my son is in a terrifying and painful fight for his life. I don't think I've ever read something so selfish in my entire life. He's a monster. Be safe. Yes, what a disgusting, selfish, narcissistic POS. Now for the next story. Devastated and need advice. Husband cheated with sister-in-law. I barely know what to say. I'm 31, husband 30, married 3.5 years, together for 8.5 total. Last August, I picked up his phone to do some dumb Google search as my phone was in another room. I saw a text from our sister-in-law, who's been with my brother for almost 10 years, that said, "I can't get you out of my head." I instantly felt cold throughout my body, got tunnel vision, and asked him what that was about. He was visibly nervous, said he hadn't seen the text and claimed to have no idea why she would say something like that. He has his phone paired to his computer, which he was sitting at, and I could see that her text was on his monitor too. Reading a text on the computer doesn't mark it as read on the phone, so that's why it was yet unread when I saw it. We hashed it out. He trickled out information. Said they always talk about a certain video game they both play, but that she had started to send texts that made him feel weird, like that she missed him and whatnot. We visited her and my brother, out of state, a week later to clear the air. Thought it was all on the table. Long story short, freaking no it was not. Short story long. Last weekend, I learned that over the course of the past 14 months, they have touched each other's hands and legs under blankets and restaurant tables, while the four of us have hung out, have held hands, sent nudes to each other, had phone sex, and that she has groped him, sent him audio of herself self-pleasuring, etc. Then in October, so 2 months after we had seemingly resolved a fairly innocent situation, freaking lol, she put her fingers in his mouth after having put them inside herself. At his request. On our couch. While I was sleeping upstairs and my brother was drunk and sleeping on the same couch they were sitting on. But they never kissed, got each other off, or had intercourse. So he says. But I don't think I believe him. I don't think I can ever believe him again. Over the course of the past year, I had felt a growing distance between him and me, and I was hurt and confused, and I tried to figure out what was wrong, get him to talk to me, make plans for the future. I got resistance and avoidance, and promises that nothing was wrong. Except eventually he said he has been sad and lonely because of my work schedule. Listen, I've worked part-time for 2 years, and I volunteer with 2 community organizations. I'm not exactly putting in 80-hour weeks, though I was near that a few years ago before going part-time. So, I left my job, which meant so much to me. I wanted to focus on our relationship, and I left it behind for a job that I was/am less emotionally invested in. He also told me that he told her, sister-in-law, that one of the things he likes about her is her long hair. Last year, he encouraged me to cut mine short, which I did. Hey, why not? It's just hair, right? And when I've said I want to grow it back out, he tells me no, you look so cute with shorter hair. Screw that. I'm blindsided. My husband has always been gentle, kind, and easygoing. He's not an authoritarian. Everyone loves him, and I have loved him so much. We have had one of those fairy tale loves that our friends envy. This hurts so freaking bad I can't see straight. And the fact that this is something he and our sister-in-law have done to my brother too? Kills me. This is so messed up and so cruel I can't believe it's really happening. Any advice will be welcome. I'm lost right now. Now for the top advice. He would be out the door already. Yeah, I don't think this is reconcilable. The other betrayed spouse is your own brother, for God's sake. I'm not sure if he'd be able to maintain a relationship with you if you stay with your husband. Added to the fact that they played footsie in front of you both. Both of them have no respect for you or your brother. They had no second thoughts in tearing a family apart. Raze it all to the ground. Neither does your husband deserve you, nor does your sister-in-law your brother. Individual counseling for the both of you, betrayal trauma specialist if possible, prescription for any insomnia/anxiety/nausea, an STD test, and a lawyer consult, to find out what the divorce process will look like, ASAP. Cheats get off on duping you in front of them. It's the same type of jollies they get by mentally abusing you by bringing the affair partner around the spouse where they have a secret the spouse does not know. There is no saving this situation. They have had intercourse for sure, but that point doesn't even matter. The things they did are beyond sick. I hope to God there's no kids in either situation. What a double whammy to happen to a brother/sister. That's pure evil. No kids. The fact that you cut your hair to please him, and quit your job to work on your relationship, while he was fingering your brother's wife on your couch, in your home, while you and your brother were there. That's other level of vileness and cruelty. I don't think there's coming back from this, so you do you. Make things that make you happy. Get into therapy. Hire a good divorce lawyer. Get your career back on track. Be there for your brother. Forget that horrible man and woman, they don't deserve a thought from you. And just do things that bring you happiness. No, there's no coming back from that. If you're capable of that, you're capable of anything. I just want to say a heartfelt thanks to all of you who have commented. It's a little too painful to respond to each individually right now, but please know how much I appreciate the variety of perspectives being offered. To address a couple points, I left town yesterday to stay with my best friend for a week, so my husband is home alone for now. And no, there are no kids in either relationship, so thankfully that is one factor we don't have to consider. Now for the last story. My husband snuck a woman into our basement during a pandemic, while my kids and I were asleep upstairs. I haven't posted my story here yet, but I guess it's time. Apologies for the long rant. I need to put this somewhere, I guess. Almost 6 months ago, I woke up sometime between 11 and midnight to my 15-month-old crying. I checked the monitor thinking her dad would be in with her, as he was still up and had been taking night duty the past few days to try and wean her. He was not in the man cave nor either of the bathrooms, which was weird. I went to the main floor to look for him but didn't see home. Went back upstairs to check, but didn't find him. At this point, I started to get a little worried that something had happened to him. And then when I went back downstairs, I noticed the door to the unfinished basement was shut, which was unusual. I started to open the door when my husband came out. I asked him what he had been doing and he replied, looking at my baseball cards. He went upstairs to our daughter and I went down to the basement because something felt off. At first, I didn't notice anything, including baseball cards, but then I heard a weird noise and there was a half-dressed female trying to hide in the corner by the water heater. I asked her who she was, she told me Ashley, and I turned around and headed back upstairs where I took my daughter from my husband and told him he needed to leave. He asked where he should go and I told him I didn't care. I went back downstairs to the basement and the girl, Ashley, was climbing out one of the windows. I said you can use the front door, because I'm polite like that. We are getting divorced and I am doing all the things I am supposed to do. Therapy for myself and my 5-year-old, self-care, leaning on my support system she and I need to. Being careful of what I say around the kids so they don't become more damaged by this. He is living in his parents' basement, says he wants 50-50 custody, but has had the kids one night a week for the last 4 months. Drags his feet on the divorce but found out he is dating. I want to move on, to be happy, but it is so hard when the one person I trusted and let in more than anyone else, so utterly rejected me. I feel thoroughly unworthy and unlovable right now. Now for the top advice. Your husband sounds like such a loser, seriously. I hope you destroy him in court. He is a loser, I guess. Not sure how it took me 10 years and 2 kids, and an Ashley, to see that. Bringing another woman into your home and during a pandemic? Clearly he's not worried about the safety of your 15-month-old, let alone yourself. Give him the Dad of the Year award. You're divorcing him, you're rejecting him. Him being a cheater doesn't make you unworthy or unlovable. Don't look at this through rose-colored glasses, see this for what it is. Don't tell yourself you were rejected by someone amazing. He is a pathetic and cowardly cheater who snuck a woman into your basement while you and your baby were asleep. Man, that is just gross. Call him Casanova of the Year too. Brings the Ashley into a half-finished basement, says hide behind the hot water heater when he hears his wife, can't come up with anything more nuanced than looking at my baseball cards, and after being told to get out, asks his wife, where should I go? Sweetie, you weren't rejected. This was a gift. It hurts right now, but you will get so much better. Your post made me laugh, So thank you for that. That description is spot on. That woman must have known what was going on. How could she have intercourse with him while his wife and kids were sleeping upstairs? That's just really, really low. These are people with no morals. I accidentally discovered a subreddit where these people gathered. I can't mention the subreddit because last time I did, I got a week ban. But the way these people think is really disgusting and sickening. They are the scum of the world and they actually enjoy doing this crap to their partner. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.